right now speaking. We have the governor of Kentucky, Andy Beshear, speaking amid that deadly plane crash happening there in his state. Let's listen in.
See our mangled remnants of what was in its path, completely burnt and blackened. Where the plane hit and where the initial explosion happened, you have significant damage. And then, like a lot of these disasters, just 5 or 6 feet away, not even the paint is disturbed on another vehicle or another building. As we walked through, there were a couple things that I thank God for. The restaurant, fully intact, could have had a lot of people. Could have caused additional losses of life. Those owners have opened up their restrooms that the first responders are able to use, and for that, we're grateful, and I look forward to thanking them in person. The other thing we see are first responders from all over the area working seamlessly. Until you see their actual shirt up close, you couldn't tell one was from one department and another was from a different one. Thankfully, there's been a shift change, and most of the individuals that were out all night heroically fighting a massive fire that is under control with only a few hot spots left. Thankfully, most folks that were out late last night are sleeping if they can sleep, with a whole new group that is out. Why? Because these departments are sending everybody. They are all working together. It's an incredible credit to cooperation. In tough news of the day, our fatality count is now up to 11. I expect it to reach 12 possibly by the end of the day. And there are a handful of other people that we're still searching for that we hope weren't on site and that we hear were somewhere else. The other piece of news is we are moving from a rescue to a recovery mode. We do not expect to find anyone else alive in the area. Because of that, we now move and put the safety of the first responders at the top of the list. And so we're going to have limited operations at night, because if you walk through this debris field, it's very easy for somebody to get hurt. And we want to make sure that everyone on site is safe. After disasters, we have lost people. And I don't want that to happen here. Not from a heart attack through overexertion, not through somebody tripping and hurting themselves at night. So these individuals have sacrificed for us. They've shown such incredible bravery, and we're going to make sure that we put their safety first. FBI is joining us today with our special agent in charge. They're going to be working with the NTSB on cataloging the debris and with debris removal. What that means is they'll be working through all of those reports that are coming in through the city, who did a great job in setting that website up very, very quickly. That's actually one of the newest innovations that I've seen in response to something like this. So, Mayor, thank you for doing that. But the FBI is going to provide their agents to go to those scenes. So if you've reported debris removal and the FBI knocks on your door, that's the reason. And I think that's just important for people to know. They are cooperating and helping in this investigation, and we are grateful for them, grateful for our special agent in charge. For the 11 that we know we've lost, we're really hurting for their families. We believe that we'll learn that there was one child in those 11, and a young child at that, which makes it all the harder. So please remember that the images of yesterday may fade in people's minds over time, but the trauma that these families that have lost somebody yesterday are going through is going to last for years. And so Louisville and Kentucky are loving communities. We take care of our people. We just got to make sure that we are as strong as we push through this one as we've been through every other one, and we do not forget those that have been impacted. With that, I'm going to turn it over to the mayor, and then we'll hear from the congressman.
Thank you, Governor Beshear. Thank you for your leadership since the initial moments of this horrible tragedy, and for the cooperation and partnership between the state and local federal authorities. This is another example, as the governor just said, about how everyone is working so closely together. What we just saw at the crash site is devastating beyond words. The impact and intensity of the wreckage, of the charred wreckage, is unlike anything I've ever seen before, and certainly nothing that I ever want to see again. The vast size of the debris field where the plane crashed in flames is completely heartbreaking. And our thoughts and prayers are going to be with the victims' families for as long as it takes for them to begin the recovery process, which certainly is going to take a while. We know that they're struggling with profound loss right now with lots of questions. And we are incredibly thankful for the first responders that were on the scene within minutes, and that, as you just heard, are still on the scene, working incredibly hard to identify victims, to provide information, to help begin the recovery process. So thanks to everybody. It's another reminder of how fragile life is and how each of us should give an extra hug to people that we care about today, tonight, and every day and every night. We learned also earlier today that a good friend of Governor Beshear, Congressman McGarvey, and mine is the owner of one of the businesses that has been devastated by this crash. I spoke to Sean just a little bit ago. Believes he's lost some employees, some customers that were at his location. It's just another reflection of the small town nature of this large city, Louisville, that we all live in, and how closely we are connected. And that's why we ask that we hug one another, support one another, contribute to the Team Kentucky Emergency Relief Fund, do whatever you can to continue to help others, starting with the victims' families. That relief fund is Team KY Emergency Relief Fund.ky.gov. And similar to other relief funds that the governor has organized in the past, every dollar donated will go directly to those who have been impacted. We're joining together, the city, the entire state, anyone from around the nation or world that wants to contribute. So the investigation, as mentioned, is underway. We will continue to provide information as it's available. We believe now that we're in the recovery phase, these updates will become a little less frequent. They might be via other means, but we will continue to provide information to the entire community as soon as it's available. And we'll continue to be available for questions that the community has. Again, our Family Assistance Center will continue to be there as long as it's necessary to help the families. And we're so incredibly thankful for the outpouring of support that we've continued to see throughout this day, just as we always do anytime there's a tragedy. I'm now going to turn it over to Congressman McGarvey.
Thank you, Mayor. And thank you, Governor. Thank you, Governor, always for your steadfast leadership in any moment, for always bringing everyone in our Commonwealth together. We are grateful you are here and for marshaling all of the state's resources. Our Mayor, also, your leadership is incredible in this issue. Being on the ground nonstop, the three of us in communication, making sure federal, state, local resources are here. You all have both been incredible leaders in this moment, and I think it shows who we are. Go home and hug your kids. Go home and hug your loved ones tonight. Go hug your neighbors. This hurts. Yesterday, it was a Tuesday at 5:15 in the afternoon. And it is going to change people's lives in this community forever. The skies over Louisville.
All right, as you see, we were listening into this Representative Morgan McGarvey, the Democrat from Kentucky, alongside other officials from the state, including the Governor Andy Beshear, all speaking amid the devastation that came from that deadly plane crash. And so as we're talking about this is really the top story of the day. Just walking up to the podium to start making his remarks there.